In the vast expanse of space, far from the blue planet called Earth, the Galactic Council gathered for their annual meeting. The grand hall buzzed with chatter as representatives from 1,000 worlds took their seats. Aliens of all shapes and sizes filled the room, from tall, slender beings with shimmering skin to short, stocky creatures covered in thick fur. At the center of the hall stood High Counselor Zix, a respected leader known for his wisdom across the galaxy. His 6 eyes scanned the crowd as he raised his 3-fingered hand for silence. The room fell quiet. "Esteemed colleagues," Zix began, his voice echoing through the hall. "Today we discuss a matter of great importance, the planet Earth." A holographic image of Earth appeared above the council table, spinning slowly. Many council members leaned forward, curious about this small blue world. "Our scouts have reported that the humans of Earth have recently developed basic space travel," Zix continued. "They have sent primitive machines to their nearby planets and even landed on their moon." Laughter rippled through the crowd. To these advanced aliens, such achievements seemed childish. A reptilian counselor named Schneck hissed, "Why waste our time on such a backward world?" Zix nodded, understanding the question. Earth may seem unimportant, but it sits on a wealth of rare minerals and resources we need for our expanding empire. This caught everyone's attention. Resources were always in high demand. "I propose," Zix said, his voice growing stronger, "that we bring Earth under our control. We can easily overpower their primitive defenses and take what we need." Murmurs of agreement spread through the hall. Most council members nodded, seeing the logic in Zix's plan. However, one voice spoke up in disagreement. It belonged to Astra, a small, glowing being from a distant nebula. "Have we not learned from past mistakes? Underestimating less advanced races has cost us before." Zix waved his hand dismissively. "The humans are different. They spend more time fighting among themselves than looking to the stars. They will be easy to conquer." He turned to face the council, his eyes gleaming with confidence. "Imagine the resources we could harvest from Earth. Their oceans alone contain enough minerals to power our fleets for centuries." The council members whispered excitedly among themselves. The promise of new resources was too tempting to ignore. Astra tried once more to reason with them. "But what of the humans? They are a young species with potential. Should we not guide them instead of conquering them?" Her words fell on deaf ears. The council was already dreaming of the riches Earth would provide. Zix called for a vote. "All in favor of bringing Earth under Galactic Council control, raise your appendages." A sea of tentacles, claws, and hands rose into the air. The vote was nearly unanimous. Zix smiled, pleased with the outcome. "It is decided then. We shall send our fleet to Earth immediately. Their primitive weapons will be no match for our advanced technology." As the meeting adjourned, council members excitedly discussed their plans for Earth's resources. None of them considered the possibility that the humans might resist. In their arrogance, they saw Earth as nothing more than a resource to be exploited. Little did they know, their decision would set in motion a chain of events that would shake the very foundations of their galactic empire. The humans of Earth, with their resourcefulness and determination, were about to surprise them all. As the Galactic Council's massive ships prepared for the journey to Earth, a sense of anticipation filled the air. They thought they were embarking on a simple conquest. Instead, they were about to wake a sleeping giant. The stage was set for a conflict that would change the face of the galaxy forever. Earth's fierce retaliation was about to begin, and the Galactic Council had no idea what was coming. The summer sky over New York City was crystal clear, a perfect day for Central Park picnics and rooftop parties. But at 2:15 p.m., everything changed. A massive shadow fell over the city as an alien mothership, larger than any skyscraper, appeared above the skyline. Panic erupted in the streets. Cars screeched to a halt, people pointed and screamed, and cell phones buzzed with emergency alerts. The alien invasion had begun. Similar scenes played out across the globe. Rio de Janeiro, Tokyo, Moscow, Cairo. No major city was spared. The Galactic Council's invasion force had arrived, and they came in overwhelming numbers. In Washington, D.C., President Sarah Chen rushed to the White House Situation Room. Military leaders from around the world joined via secure video link, their faces grim. "What are we dealing with?" President Chen asked, her voice steady despite the chaos. General Williams, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, spoke up. "Ma'am, we're facing technology far beyond our own. Their ships have some kind of energy shield. Our missiles can't get through." On screens around the room, they watched as Earth's military forces engaged the alien invaders. Fighter jets launched attacks against the massive ships, only to be swatted away like flies. Tanks fired round after round, their shells harmlessly exploding against invisible barriers. The aliens' response was swift and devastating. Beams of energy lanced down from their ships, vaporizing military bases and defense installations. Smaller craft swarmed out, rounding up humans and destroying any resistance. As night fell, half of Earth's major cities were under alien control. Millions were displaced, fleeing to the countryside in hopes of escaping the invasion. But even in this darkest hour, hope remained. In underground bunkers and hidden facilities, Earth's leaders and brightest minds gathered to plan their resistance. Dr. Aisha Patel, a brilliant physicist from India, addressed a room full of scientists and military personnel. "Their technology is advanced, yes," she said, her eyes shining with determination. "But it's not magic. We can study it. We can learn from it. And we can find its weaknesses." Meanwhile, in the ruins of occupied London, a group of ordinary citizens formed the first human resistance cell. Led by former police officer Jack Thompson, they began gathering intel on the aliens' movements and capabilities. "They think they've won," Jack told his Galactic group, huddled in a bombed-out pub. "But they don't know humans. We don't give up. We adapt. We survive." Across the world, similar groups formed. Farmers in Iowa rigged their tractors with makeshift weapons. Hackers in South Korea worked tirelessly to breach alien communications. In the Amazon rainforest, indigenous tribes used their knowledge of the land to hide refugees and launch guerrilla attacks. The aliens, confident in their superior technology, were unprepared for the intensity and creativity of human resistance. They had expected an easy conquest, but instead found themselves in a grueling war of attrition. One alien commander, Kraz, expressed his frustration during a report to the Galactic Council. "These humans," he growled, his tentacles twitching in agitation, "they're like nothing we've encountered before. They refuse to submit, no matter the cost. And they're learning, adapting to our tactics faster than we anticipated." High Counselor Zix dismissed Kraz's concerns. "They are merely delaying the inevitable. Increase the pressure. Show them the futility of resistance." But as the aliens intensified their attacks, humanity's resolve only grew stronger. In labs around the world, scientists worked day and night to understand alien technology. Every downed alien craft was a treasure trove of information, every captured weapon a key to unlocking their secrets. 3 months into the invasion, Dr. Patel made a breakthrough. Analyzing the energy signature of alien shields, she discovered a frequency that could disrupt them. It wasn't a complete solution, but it was a start. As news of the discovery spread, a spark of hope ignited around the world. Humanity had taken its first step towards fighting back. The Galactic Council's easy conquest had turned into a prolonged and costly war, and Earth was just beginning to show its true strength. The aliens had awakened a sleeping giant, and Earth's fierce retaliation was about to begin in earnest. 6 months into the alien invasion, Earth was a changed world. Cities lay in ruins, governments operated from hidden bunkers, and the skies were filled with the ominous shapes of alien ships. But something else had changed too. Humanity had found its fighting spirit. In a secret underground lab beneath the Rocky Mountains, Dr. Aisha Patel stood before a group of world leaders. Her eyes were tired from endless nights of work, but they sparkled with excitement. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, gesturing to a strange-looking device behind her, "I give you our first functional alien shield disruptor." The room erupted in applause. It was the breakthrough they had been waiting for. President Chen stepped forward, her face etched with both hope and concern. "How soon can we produce these on a large scale?" Dr. Paddle smiled. "That's the beauty of it. We've designed it to be manufactured using existing Earth technology. Every car factory, every electronics plant can be converted to produce these." Across the globe, the resistance movement grew stronger. Humans, known for their adaptability, were learning to use the aliens' own technology against them. In the scorched ruins of Sydney, Australian special forces ambushed an alien patrol. Instead of conventional weapons, they wielded salvaged alien blasters. The aliens, caught off guard by their own weaponry, fell quickly. Meanwhile, in the dense jungles of the Congo, a different kind of resistance was forming. Led by Dr. Ikan Okafor, a brilliant biologist, a team of scientists made a startling discovery. The native plant life was naturally resistant to alien scanning technology. "It's the unique magnetic properties in the soil," Dr. Okafor explained to his team. "It creates a natural cloaking effect." This discovery led to a new guerrilla tactic. Resistance fighters coated themselves in jungle mud, becoming invisible to alien sensors. They struck from the shadows, disappearing before the aliens could retaliate. In orbit, the tide of space battles was slowly turning. Captain Lila Vasquez of the hastily assembled Earth Defense Fleet maneuvered her ship, a hybrid of human and reverse-engineered alien technology, through a field of debris. "All ships, form up on me," she commanded. "Remember, hit and run. Don't give them time to bring their main weapons to bear." The Earth ships, smaller and more agile than the lumbering alien cruisers, darted in and out, their new shield disruptors allowing them to land devastating blows. On the ground, another human advantage became clear: diversity. The aliens, used to dealing with single culture worlds, were unprepared for the variety of human languages, cultures, and ways of thinking. In Japan, elderly tech CEOs worked alongside young hackers, cracking alien communication codes. In Brazil, indigenous trackers guided special forces through the Amazon, ambushing alien mining operations. In Kenya, Maasai warriors, their traditional combat skills proving surprisingly effective against alien foot soldiers, protected refugee camps. The aliens, for all their advanced technology, had never encountered a species with such varied skills and adaptability. During a Galactic Council emergency session, Commander Kraz reported the mounting issues. "These humans," he growled, frustration evident in his voice, "they're unlike any species we've encountered. They adapt at an alarming rate. They've already replicated some of our technology. And their diversity, it makes them unpredictable." High Counselor Zix, for the first time, showed signs of worry. "How is this possible? They were supposed to be primitives." "It seems," Kraz replied, "that we severely underestimated them." Back on Earth, in a reclaimed laboratory in Silicon Valley, a team of international scientists huddled around a strange device. It was a captured alien quantum computer, finally unlocked. Dr. Chen Wei, a quantum physicist from China, looked up from the machine, her eyes wide with awe. "Do you realize what this means? With this, we can leapfrog centuries of technological development. We can fight them on equal terms." As news of these successes spread, hope blossomed across the planet. Humanity, with its back against the wall, was showcasing its greatest strengths: resilience, adaptability, and an unyielding spirit. The Galactic Council had expected an easy conquest. Instead, they found themselves in a fight for survival against a species that refused to be conquered. And humanity was just getting started. 1 year into the alien invasion, Earth stood at a crossroads. Humanity had shown incredible resilience, but the aliens still held the upper hand. That was about to change. In a hidden laboratory deep beneath the Alps, Dr. Sofia Rodriguez worked tirelessly. For months, she had been studying the alien quantum computer, pushing the limits of human understanding. Today, her efforts would bear fruit. "Eureka!" she shouted, startling her team. "I've cracked it." What Dr. Rodriguez had discovered was revolutionary, a way to create a quantum field that could disrupt alien technology on a massive scale. It was the game changer humanity had been waiting for. Word of the breakthrough spread quickly through secure channels. In underground bunkers and secret bases around the world, military leaders and scientists gathered to plan humanity's counterattack. General Williams, his face weathered by months of grueling warfare, addressed the assembled war council. "Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time since this war began, we have a real chance to take the fight to the enemy." The plan was daring. Using Dr. Rodriguez's quantum disruptor, Earth would launch a coordinated global assault on the alien strongholds. It was risky, but the potential reward was worth it: freedom for humanity. As preparations for the assault began, tension filled the air. In cities and towns across the planet, resistance fighters readied themselves. Farmers turned guerrilla warriors checked their weapons. Hackers cracked their knuckles, preparing to unleash digital chaos on alien systems. The day of the attack dawned bright and clear. In orbit, Captain Lila Vasquez gave the order to her fleet: "All ships, engage quantum disruptors. May fortune favor the bold." As one, Earth's hybrid ships activated their new weapons. A wave of quantum energy washed over the alien fleet. Suddenly, their mighty ships began to drift, their systems failing. On the ground, the effect was even more dramatic. In New York, the towering alien citadel that had dominated the skyline for months suddenly went dark. Its shields flickered and died. Resistance leader Jack Thompson, watching from a nearby rooftop, grinned fiercely. "That's our cue, lads. Let's take back our city." All around the world, similar scenes played out. In Tokyo, Seoul, Lagos, and 100 other cities, humanity rose up against their would-be conquerors. The aliens, caught off guard by the sudden failure of their technology, found themselves facing the full fury of a united Earth. Human forces, armed with a mixture of conventional weapons and reverse-engineered alien tech, swarmed alien strongholds. In orbit, the space battle raged. Captain Vasquez's voice crackled over the comm: "Press the advantage. Don't let them regroup." Earth ships, once outclassed, now darted between the drifting alien vessels, landing punishing blows. One by one, the mighty ships of the Galactic Council fell. On the alien command ship, panic reigned. High Counselor Zix, his arrogance replaced by fear, barked orders: "Restore our systems. Call for reinforcements." But it was too late. The quantum disruption had spread through their entire network. For the first time, the aliens faced the prospect of defeat. As the battle raged, Dr. Rodriguez worked feverishly to maintain the quantum field. "We need to keep this up," she muttered, her fingers flying over her console. "Every second counts." Hours passed, and slowly the tide turned. City after city was liberated. Alien strongholds fell. In the skies, the once mighty invasion fleet was reduced to floating wreckage. As night fell, an eerie quiet settled over the battlefields. Humanity had won the day, but the war was far from over. In Washington, D.C., President Chen addressed a weary but jubilant world. "Today, we have shown the Galactic Council the true strength of humanity. We have taken back our planet, but our fight is not over. Now we take the battle to the stars." Cheers erupted around the globe. After a year of darkness, hope blazed brightly. Humanity had proven its worth, not just as survivors, but as warriors capable of defeating the most advanced species in the galaxy. As news of Earth's victory spread across the cosmos, other subjugated species looked on in awe. The Galactic Council's aura of invincibility was shattered. A new age was dawning, and humanity was leading the charge. The turning point had come. Earth's retaliation had only just begun. 6 months after humanity's decisive victory on Earth, The war had entered a new phase. No longer content with merely defending their home planet, humans had taken the fight to the stars. In a repurposed alien shipyard orbiting Mars, engineer Takashi Yamamoto stood before a massive view screen. He gazed in awe at the fruits of human labor and ingenuity. Earth's first true interstellar warship. "She's beautiful," Takashi whispered, pride evident in his voice. The ship, christened Horizon, was a marvel of hybrid technology. It combined the best of human innovation with reversed-engineered alien tech. Sleek, powerful, and armed with Dr. Rodriguez's quantum disruptors, it represented humanity's future among the stars. Captain Leila Vasquez, chosen to lead this historic mission, addressed her crew on the bridge. "Today, we take the fight to the enemy. We'll show the Galactic Council that humanity is a force to be reckoned with." As the Horizon and its escort fleet prepared to depart, back on Earth, the gears of industry turned at full speed. Factories that once produced cars now manufactured spaceship components. Tech companies focused on developing new weapons and defenses. The entire planet was united in the war effort. In Geneva, the newly formed Earth Defense Council convened. Representatives from every nation gathered to plan humanity's next moves. President Chen, now serving as the Council's first chairperson, addressed the assembly. "Our spies have identified key Galactic Council outposts. These will be our first targets. We strike fast, we strike hard, and we show no mercy." The room erupted in determined cheers. The memory of alien oppression was still fresh, and the desire for payback burned right. As Earth's fleet set out, other subjugated species across the galaxy watched with growing hope. The Xerillians, a peaceful race enslaved centuries ago, secretly cheered humanity's advances. The warrior Krath, long resistant but ultimately defeated, saw in humans a kindred fighting spirit. The Galactic Council, caught off guard by Earth's rapid technological leap, scrambled to respond. High Counselor Zix, once dismissive of primitive humans, now faced the wrath of his peers. "How could you let this happen?" demanded Counselor Vex, his tentacles writhing in anger. These humans were supposed to be an easy conquest. Zix had no answer. The arrogance that led to the invasion of Earth had come back to haunt the entire council. Meanwhile, in deep space, the Horizon and its fleet engaged in their first battle. They ambushed a Galactic Council supply convoy, their quantum disruptors making short work of the enemy's defenses. Captain Vasquez's voice rang out over the comms. "All ships, focus fire on the flagship. Let's send the Council a message they won't forget." The battle was swift and decisive. As the last enemy ship fell, cheers erupted across the human fleet. It was their first victory in alien space, but it wouldn't be their last. News of the victory spread rapidly across Earth and to resistance movements on other worlds. Humanity, once seen as an insignificant species from a backwater planet, was now striking fear into the heart of the Galactic Empire. On a dozen worlds, inspired by Earth's example, oppressed species began to rise up. The Xerillians launched cyber attacks on their overseers. Krath warriors overwhelmed their guards with sheer ferocity. A galactic rebellion was brewing, with humanity leading the charge. Back in Earth orbit, Dr. Sofia Rodriguez put the finishing touches on her latest project. It was a communications array that could send faster-than-light messages across the galaxy. With this, she explained to President Chen, "We can coordinate with resistance movements on other worlds. We can unite the galaxy against the Council." As the device hummed to life, sending out its first transmissions, a new chapter in the war began. Earth was no longer fighting alone. A galactic alliance was forming, and humanity was at its core. In the depths of space, Captain Vasquez and her fleet pressed on, carrying the hopes of Earth and countless other worlds with them. The Galactic Council had started this war thinking they faced a primitive species. Now they faced a united galaxy, rallied behind the indomitable human spirit. Earth's retaliation had gone beyond mere survival. It had become a crusade for freedom that would reshape the galaxy forever. 2 years into humanity's counteroffensive, the galaxy was in turmoil. The once mighty Galactic Council, which had ruled for millennia, was crumbling. Earth, the planet they had dismissed as insignificant, now stood at the center of a revolution that was reshaping the cosmic order. On the planet Cyrilla, home of the long-oppressed Cyrillians, a historic moment was unfolding. Captain Layla Vasquez stood beside Cyrillian leader Zorn, watching as the last council garrison surrendered. "We've dreamed of this day for generations," Zorn said, his crystalline skin shimmering with emotion. "We owe our freedom to Earth." Vasquez smiled, her battle-worn face softening. "We're proud to stand with you, friend. Your freedom is our freedom." Across the galaxy, similar scenes played out. On Krath, the warrior race turned their ferocity against their former masters. On Nebula 6, a gaseous species long thought incapable of resistance, used their newfound alliance with Earth to drag out their oppressors. Back on Earth, the war room of the Earth Defense Council was a hive of activity. Holographic displays showed battles raging across dozens of star systems. President Chen, her hair now streaked with gray, studied the galactic map intently. "Another council stronghold has fallen in the Orient sector," reported General Williams. "The Andromedan refugees we liberated last month led the charge." Chen nodded, a fierce pride in her eyes. "Earth's example is spreading faster than we could have imagined. We're not just winning battles, we're winning hearts and minds." Indeed, Earth had become a symbol of hope and resistance across the galaxy. Species that had never met a human in person spoke in awed tones about the planet that dared to challenge the Galactic Council. In the depths of space, the Horizon, now the flagship of a vast multi-species fleet, approached the Galactic Council's capital world. Dr. Sofia Rodriguez, on board as Chief Science Officer, marveled at how far they'd come. "When we started this journey," she mused to Captain Vasquez, "I never imagined we'd be leading the Galactic Alliance." Vasquez nodded, her eyes fixed on the looming planet ahead. The Council never understood what they were dealing with. Humanity doesn't just survive. We thrive on challenges. As the fleet prepared for the final battle, news came from across the galaxy. The Council's authority was collapsing everywhere. Member species, inspired by Earth's rebellion, were overthrowing their overseers and declaring independence. On the Council capital, panic reigned. High Counselor Zix, once the most powerful being in the galaxy, now cowered in his chambers as reports of defeat flooded in. "How?" he wailed to his few remaining advisors. "How could primitives from a backwater world do this to us?" But there was no answer. The Council, in its arrogance, had fatally underestimated humanity's potential. As the Earth-led fleet began its assault on the capital, a message broadcast across the galaxy. It was President Chen, addressing not just humanity, but all species. "Today, we end the tyranny of the Galactic Council," her voice rang out. "But this is not just Earth's victory. This is a victory for all who yearn for freedom. Together, we will build a new galactic society, one of equality, justice, and mutual respect." The response was overwhelming. From countless worlds came messages of support and solidarity. Species that had been bitter enemies under Council rule now found common cause in the promise of a new galactic order. The final battle was fierce but short. The Council's last defenders, demoralized and outnumbered, soon surrendered. As Earth's forces landed on the capital world, they were greeted not as conquerors, but as liberators. In the Council's Grand Assembly Hall, where for eons the fates of worlds had been decided by a privileged few, representatives from 100 species now gathered. Humans stood alongside beings of all shapes and sizes, united in their vision for the future. Captain Vasquez, chosen to speak for Earth, addressed the historic gathering. "We came to the stars as defenders of our home. We became liberators of the oppressed. Now we stand here as partners in a new galactic community. Let this be the dawn of a new age, an age of freedom, cooperation, and boundless possibility." As cheers echoed through the hall, the truth was clear. The galaxy had changed forever. Earth, once a target for conquest, had become the catalyst for a cosmic revolution. The era of the Galactic Council was over. The age of Earth had begun. 5 years had passed since the fall of the Galactic Council. The galaxy, once ruled by fear and oppression, was transforming under the guidance of the newly formed Galactic Alliance. At the heart of this alliance stood Earth, the unlikely hero that had sparked a cosmic revolution. On the rebuilt Council world, now called Unity, a grand ceremony was underway. Representatives from thousands of worlds gathered in the vast Alliance Hall, a symbol of the new era of cooperation. President Sarah Chen, her hair now silver, but her eyes still bright with determination, stood at the podium. Beside her were Captain Layla Vasquez, Dr. Sofia Rodriguez, and delegates from 100 different species. Friends, allies, fellow citizens of the galaxy. Chen began, her voice carrying to every corner of the hall and broadcasting across the stars. Today, we celebrate not just our victory, but our shared future. The crowd cheered, a cacophony of sounds from countless alien throats mixing with human applause. Chen continued, 5 years ago, we fought for our survival. Today, we work together to rebuild, to heal, and to explore the wonders of our universe as one united galactic community. As she spoke, holographic displays showed the progress made across the galaxy. War-torn worlds were being restored. Long-oppressed species were flourishing in freedom. And at the forefront of it all was Earth, sharing its unique blend of resilience, creativity, and compassion. After the ceremony, Captain Vasquez stood on a balcony overlooking the glittering capital city. Zorn, the Xyrillian leader, joined her. "Did you ever imagine it would turn out like this?" Zorn asked, his crystalline form shimmering in the twilight. Vasquez smiled, shaking her head. "Never. When the invasion began, we were just fighting to survive. Now look at us, at the center of a galactic alliance." Indeed, Earth's influence had spread far and wide. Human music, art, and culture were now popular across the galaxy. Earth foods were considered delicacies on distant worlds, and humanity's spirit of exploration had inspired a new age of discovery. In orbit above Unity, the horizon, now a museum ship, served as a reminder of the long struggle. Dr. Rodriguez led tours for visitors from across the galaxy, explaining how humanity had turned alien technology against its creators. The quantum disruptor was just the beginning. She told a group of wide-eyed alien students, "By working together, combining the knowledge of 1,000 worlds, we've made breakthroughs that the old council never dreamed possible." One of the students, a young Krath, raised a clawed hand. "Dr. Rodriguez, is it true that humans were once considered primitives by the council?" Rodriguez laughed. "It's true, but we proved that true intelligence isn't about technology. It's about adaptability, creativity, and the strength to stand up for what's right." Back on Earth, the planet was thriving. Cities gleamed with a mix of human and alien architecture. In schools, children learned about galactic history alongside Earth's past. Spaceports bustled with visitors from across the cosmos, eager to see the world that had changed everything. But Earth hadn't forgotten its roots. In a small town in what was once called the American Midwest, a statue stood in the town square. It depicted a group of humans, a farmer, a scientist, a soldier, and a child, standing defiant against a looming alien shape. The plaque read, "To the indomitable human spirit, the force that saved our world and changed the galaxy." As the galactic celebration continued, a small ship descended through Earth's atmosphere. On board were High Counselor Zix and other former council leaders, now humbled and seeking to understand the species they had once dismissed. They were greeted not with anger, but with curiosity and even a touch of pity. Humanity, in its triumph, had chosen reconciliation over revenge. As night fell on Unity, President Chen stood with her old friends, Vasquez, Rodriguez, and General Williams. They watched the twin moons rise over the city, each lost in thought. "You know, Chen said finally, breaking the silence. The council thought they were punishing us by invading Earth. Instead, they gave us the stars. Vasquez nodded, a wry smile on her face. And we gave the galaxy its freedom. As they stood there, leaders of a new age, the truth was clear. Earth's retaliation had done more than save humanity. It had reshaped the destiny of an entire galaxy. The future stretched out before them, bright with promise, a testament to the incredible potential that had always lurked within the human spirit. The end of one story had become the beginning of a greater adventure, and humanity, once alone on its little blue planet, now stood at the forefront of a grand cosmic journey.